At this point, I decided we should dive directly into the question of reparations and reconciliation, of repair, basically. There were a lot of different theories and politics to sort through, and the national conversation was definitely heating up. Lawsuits were being filed against corporations. Some wanted Congress to take action. Others wanted official apologies. And for every idea, there were also loud voices of opposition. Then our names started showing up. To make sense of it all, we decided to meet with people in our home communities and to interview experts.
We may jointly come to some conclusions that, it may take some money to do some things, but there's some other things that have to happen too. Perhaps reparations is a process. It is not necessarily an event.
This is a movement which I fear, whatever the rightness of it in principle, will have the consequence of alienating more Americans than it will of enlisting sympathy for us.
My own view is that whatever proceeds come from reparations should be put into a trust fund that a commission will dispense that will focus on the needs of what I call the bottom stuck. Those African Americans who are descendants of slaves who have never truly benefited from integration and who have never benefited from affirmative action and other programs designed to help. And if you think about that, whatever you think about reparations, if you think about if there's a remedy that solves the problem of the poorest of the poor, that's not a black remedy. That's an American remedy.
People haven't said it, but I just have a feeling that I have a lot of relatives who are wondering if you've thought about suing families for reparations.
The answer is that I'd love to have your forwarding addresses. And I know where to find you. All right. The point of the matter is that who you sue is largely irrelevant. It's why. And I think that the who will identify themselves. Well, let me just tell you this. I think it's important that one of the successes of the reparations movement so far is that there have been defendants, and I describe that broadly, who have come forward to say, let's talk.
We were ready to show up for the larger conversation because we all wanted to make a difference, regardless of whether or not we should be accountable for our family's past. Each of us figured out our own approach. Jim decided to support reparations lawsuits.
To me, it's the only game in town. Nothing else is succeeding. Nothing else is working. I listened for years through the 1950s and 1960s to my father saying, wrong thing to do, wrong thing to do, wrong thing to do. We've got to wait. We've got to go slower. I think he was dead wrong.
To me, I think that for me, my role is encouraging that dialogue, encouraging people not to be afraid to face that which divides us.
I would have the president issue a public apology. I would have Congress participate in that. I think that we should have truth and reconciliation discussions as they did in South Africa.
You see, I'm not at a place where I'm into enrolling people who are antagonistic. I'm into spending time with people who are white, who really get that there's something to be done and want to do something about it.